All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to your crypto market update. My name is Amal. I am the lead analyst and owner of the Alpha Trades community. Today, I'm going to talk about one trade that is going to be probably the most important trade for the next week or the next 3 to 4 weeks, depending on how long this rally lasts in the market. Okay. First, real quick, let's get the marketing stuff out of the way. Again, my name is Amal. I've been part of the crypto community for the last 4 or 5 years. I created Alpha Trades about 2 years ago. Previously, it was named Cryptosomniac. We deliver high quality information for our members in a private Discord channel. And if you want to join that Discord channel, you can go here, thealphatrades.com, click the products page right here. And for $97 per month, you get access to all those Discord channels that you see with the locked symbol right there. And the lock contains all the alpha behind it, which is analysis, trades, things that I'm doing in the market, things that I'm buying, selling, things that we find that are going to be interesting in the market, etc. So let me give you all some real good alpha for today. Okay, so stay tuned. First things first, what I want to talk about is BTC, right? Obviously, Bitcoin, in my opinion, dictates the trend of the market. And the last few weeks, Bitcoin, though it has been sort of grinding its way up, there have been other aspects of the market that have been performing well, especially Ethereum, which is on the back of the Ethereum merge narrative. And then with Ethereum come two other L2 or Ethereum-related protocols, such as Arbitrum and Optimism. If you're not familiar with those, make sure you do your research. So let's dive into it, right? What exactly is Arbitrum? What exactly is Optimism? And how and why should you be paying attention to them? Okay. So first things first, right? You want to be paying attention to ETH because it has been one of the market leaders, especially from the low that it formed in June 18th right here, all the way up to 1,700 and some change. So it's up about almost 100% from the lows, versus Bitcoin is actually only up, I think, from the lows 30%, if I'm not mistaken, 32%. Okay. So clearly there's a big discrepancy between Ethereum and Bitcoin. And I think that discrepancy is simply because Ethereum has that merge that's coming out, and that's really propelling that Ethereum aspect of the market, and people are getting excited. More importantly, I think the market has been so beat up over the last few months that almost any narrative will do, whether it's a pass or fail, whether it's going to be truly successful or a nothing burger, or it's going to be a near-term catalyst just for a temporary run in the market. Either way, we want to be paying attention to ETH and Ethereum-related assets. So I've gathered some tweets as well as information points that you guys should be paying attention to. Number one, make sure you go to DeFi Llama and check out their TVL rankings. And then look at these two. We talked about Arbitrum and Optimism, right? Arbitrum currently has TVL of $880 million. It's been pretty good, especially over the last week and a half, where you see more momentum and build up out of Arbitrum-related protocols and Arbitrum-related ecosystem assets, whether it's GMX, Radiant, Stargate Finance, DopeX, which is a options protocol, and many others. Again, you can go to DeFi Llama and check this out regarding Arbitrum. You could also go to CoinGecko and you can look up Arbitrum ecosystem coins. And based on that, you can look at all these assets that are doing well, that you find interesting. Obviously, do your own research. But there's a few in here that I like that I've mentioned to Advantage members. So again, if y'all want access to that information, make sure you go to thealphatrades.com, hit the products page, and join our Advantage membership subscription. The alpha I'll drop to y'all today is very simple, okay? So right now, I am long ETH. That's it, okay? I'm long ETH simply because it is the easiest and most obvious play. The higher beta plays behind Ethereum are things within Arbitrum, which are the ecosystem plays, and then things within Optimism, which are things like Velodrome Phi, which again is part of the Optimism side of the ecosystem. And you can see even Velodrome has been doing pretty well. It has a market cap of $25 million. You can go here, you can go to Optimism. Optimism has about $1.1 billion in TVL. And here are the Optimism ecosystem assets that are doing well. Again, make sure you do your research on what you want to pile into or you want to get into as a trade. What I do, however, think is happening right now is I think the merge itself is almost known by everybody. So I think that aspect of the trade is not really niche anymore, right? But I do think that there's Optimism and Arbitrum, which are maybe like 25 to 30% left in terms of upside of the trade. So I think there's still some value extraction left in those two areas of the Ethereum merge play, which is Optimism ecosystem plays, as well as Arbitrum ecosystem plays, okay? So you can go to the CoinGecko website or the DeFi Llama websites to check out exactly, what different plays they have. But here's a few things that I mapped out, okay? So if we go over here, right, Velodrome Fi I already talked about. Within Arbitrum ecosystem, you want to be paying attention to DopeX, PLS, which is a convex of Arbitrum, GMX, which we already talked about, trading platform, right? CAP, also a newer trading platform, VSTA, which is an interest-free lending platform, and then Jones, which is a managed options strategies platform, and then TCR, no liquidation, leverage trading, hedging pool platform. Okay, so these are the assets. Definitely do research into. Okay, now there's other aspects that are also doing kind of well, and other aspects of crypto that will do well with Ethereum simply because they're directly tied to the Ethereum ecosystem growth, or in some way are tied to DeFi as well as Ethereum plays. SNX, in my opinion, is probably top tier. So if we look at the SNX chart real quick, right? SNX has definitely been kicking ass over the last several weeks, off almost 200%, I think, from the lows, doing really well. Aave, I think, is another good play that you should definitely be watching. Again, an Ethereum ecosystem play. Let me see here. AVAX, which is obviously an L2 of Ethereum. Then we have Matic, L2 of Ethereum. I'm sorry, AVAX is not an L2. It's just a L1 ecosystem that's EVM compatible. Matic is the L2 of Ethereum, and it could also do well on the back of Ethereum, merge being successful and all that. Okay. So like I said, different plays out there that you can keep an eye on and, keep as a backup for a play on the back of successful Ethereum, merge news. Then we have other aspects of the crypto market, which is, like DeFi / NFTs. Xmon is clearly one of them, right? One of the DeFi sort of NFT protocols. JPEG is another one, another protocol that you want to be paying attention to, as well as Immutable X. Okay, so all of these, remember, NFTs do really well when the market itself has a risk on bid, and that the market is trying to find more and more yield and more risk for people to put their money in so they can possibly get higher plays. If Ethereum is, let's just say 20 to 25% gain that you get from the upside, people are probably looking for any of these protocols right here, or any of these protocols that I mentioned for 100% or a 200% play. That's the psychology that you want to be paying attention to. But you also got to ask yourself, are you too late to this, right? Are you too late, and has the upside been capped in these plays, or Xmon or JPEG or Immutable X? Okay, I'm personally not sure, but I do think that majority of that upside is going to be questionable, or it's going to be very risky. And I personally don't think that it's worth the play. I think it's much easier in the current conditions of the market to either play Ethereum or some of the Arbitrum and Optimism ecosystem plays. Okay. We also have, Ripay Finance, which is on the Phantom ecosystem. Another thing that you should be paying attention to. So aside from Ethereum, right, Phantom, I think, is also EVM compatible. You can look here. They also have staking and farming opportunities where you can get some some modest, gains, 0.26% daily. That's pretty darn good, 0.33% daily. Then you have in the pay bank, again, very, very high APR, 4,800 APR rate. Again, these are all risky plays, so please do your own research. And then in the OXD side, you have a pretty high APY as well, 7.27%. Please, again, do make sure you do your research in this stuff, but I'm just pointing it out because you should know what opportunities are out there. So if you do want to jump in and dive in, and just in case the market pushes higher, right, we know what to be paying attention to. Arthur Hayes has also talked about, his thought process on the current stage of the market, which is he believes that we're possibly in a max bidding stage. Sooner or later, he's expecting, a massive pop to the market. However, he lays out a couple of scenarios just for, cautionary purposes. And these 4 scenarios, in my opinion, are still in play because if you look at this chart right here, right, we are here. This is blue. This is where we are. And these are the previous bear markets in the US stock market history. This is the 2000, 2003 market, and this is the 2007, 2009. If you look at where we are in terms of the blue, I believe that we're going to be somewhere in the middle of these two. There's a lot of smart people out there who are saying that by September, October end, we should be bottoming out because inflation should be peaking. The United States just passed a Inflation Reduction Act. Supply chains are getting back on track. You can kind of see, oil prices are coming down, which is one of the main reasons why obviously inflation was extremely high. There are a number of reasons out there where you can make the rational sort of objective decision to say that, inflation has peaked, the market has bottomed, and from here, we're going to start a new bull market. However, I think that mode of thinking is a bit too premature and a bit too early. What the market needs to show us is we need to see that we are creating a bottom. Okay, so that has to look something like this. All right, we have to see, first of all, can we get past this particular area like this, leave this low behind, and start trending on up? That means that all this will be left behind. We'll build a base up here and then start pushing up. And that will also, once again, take a few weeks to build out. The higher probability play here is that this is going to lead somewhat like a double top. We might sweep up here, come back, start to break down, take out this low, and have a drawn out bear market into, September, October. Again, different ways to look at the market, right? There's a lot of bulls and bears out there. I don't really know how to go about it. All I do know is, like I said, the simplest play I can make is the one that has a clear narrative behind it, the one that, in my opinion, is going to have a clear upside. If we do have, more upside in the stock market, more upside in BTC, and more upside in crypto, I think the easiest play would be Ethereum and some of those Optimism and Arbitrum plays that I mentioned. Okay. But make sure you'll read Arthur Hayes' article fully, because he's not just outright saying, hey, I'm just completely long and, everything is good and we've market bottomed. There's a lot of nuance in this article that actually will tell you, be very, very cautious, be very, very careful. There's a couple of things that he talks about regarding the housing market, debt to GDP ratios, consumer credit, which is obviously building here in the US, as well as other things, related to crypto. All in all, I think if you were to take away something from this article, it is simply that macro environment is still very uncertain. He does not fully believe that we are out of the woods yet. He does think that somewhere around February or March 2023, we should get a much more clearer picture. As you can see, that's about 3 to 6 months away, right? By that time, the market dynamics and the structure of the market obviously will have completely changed. But these are the things that he outlines. So I just wanted to give y'all sort of a review, because I read the article, and almost everyone thinks that whenever Arthur Hayes puts out something like this, it's either very bullish or very bearish. But in fact, I think he actually provides a lot more nuance. People just don't want to look at it as nuance. They're just looking for him to fill in holes, in their own biases, right? So talked about Ethereum, talked about the narrative. We talked about, Bitcoin looking pretty decent, I think, sitting at these levels. right getting capped under August monthly open. I do think the fact that we are hovering right inside this resistance point, in my opinion, is bullish. This could be seen as a big inverse head and shoulders pattern, which I think once it pops, I think is go time. I think it's going to take out this high, and I think BTC is probably going to make itself all the way up to $26,000 or $27,000, and maybe as high as somewhere up here at the high of this particular range that we had, somewhere around 30K. Okay, but we actually have to break out above this level. We actually have to stay above this range high, which is 24.3. Then we could talk about 26 and 30K up here. Okay, and as I said, if that's going to happen, then I'm looking at some of those, Ethereum and Ethereum related plays to play out towards the upside. I already told y'all I'm long on Ethereum. I trade predominantly on Bitget. So if y'all do want to sign up, the link is below in my YouTube description. They don't have a KYC, by the way. If you're in the US or Canada or the UK, they don't have a KYC. They have this pretty awesome protection fund insurance that they've launched, which is also really cool. So you feel a little bit safer that, your money is in a newer exchange, but it's still protected. And then, of course, they have these opportunities. If you're new to the exchange, trading competition opportunities, you can earn up to $4,000, I think, if I'm not mistaken, $4,163 for newcomers, which is also really cool. So take advantage of this stuff. In a bear market, this is what you want to do. You want to make some money from good exchanges that are popping up, that are trying to bring users from other exchanges who take you for granted. And so far, I've had a great experience with Bitget. Make sure y'all do your research. Make sure y'all check them out. Okay. That's pretty much it, I think. Talk about BTC, right? We're coming to a weekly close. I think the weekly is neutral. I mean, I don't think it's bearish, but I don't think it's bullish either. Hopefully by, in the next 3 hours, by the time the weekly closes, I hope we push higher. If we close above, 23.5, 24K, I think it's game time. I think this coming week, we move up. I think we move up towards 26 to 28K. And in that same regard, I think then BTC probably pushes up towards these levels. So let me show you all that real quick. I think the level that's being capping us in Ethereum is 1735. Previous support all the way back here in May and June. We're consolidating right under that resistance, right? We push up, and I think we make a pretty easy push towards 2,000 all the way up to $2,100. I think Matic is probably another, high strength play. I think if Matic pushes up, I'm expecting Matic to push up towards 126. Very, huge confluence around 125, 126 level, as you could see. So if we do push, look for Matic to get above 95 cents, stay above 95, and then that could be your trade, right? If it stays above this level, stop right there, long towards 125, 126. Cool. Solana has, in fact, been one of the most biggest laggard plays. In fact, it's been lagging even behind AVAX, which to me is like a really big surprise. AVAX has been kicking ass the last 3 or 4 days, putting up almost 15 to 16% thus far. You can see the market as a whole, right now is kind of gearing up for a push as we head into the new weekly. 2 other assets, or at least like this, Oracle related asset, Link, definitely looking good. Definitely looking like, it wants to make a bigger push up higher. If I were looking at Link's upside, I would look at this high right there. Okay, around $10 or $9.75. All right, that's all I got, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Again, hit the thumbs up if you like my content. I've been putting out a lot of free content for the last several years. If y'all do like our community, do come join. Check out the partners link from Bitget. I've been trading them with them for a while. I like their exchange. I think you will too. Check it out. Good luck on your Ethereum and Optimism and Arbitrum research. Good luck on trading this week, and we'll talk soon. Cheers.